Today on Stock Charts in Focus, we're bringing you more new features from our latest product launch. This time, talking about the new intraday chart periods that have just rolled out for SharpCharts and ACP. 5 new intraday chart periods that split the trading day evenly. Gets around an issue that's always existed with those 60-minute or hourly charts. We're going to talk more about that on the show. Plus, we've introduced intraday RRG charts, relative rotation graphs invented by one of our close partners, Julius de Kempenaar. We're going to make sure you see the new intraday RRG charts in action and learn how to follow Julius. So lots to cover on the show today. Of course, you know what it is. It's all new. It's all here. It's Stock Charts in Focus. All right, my friends, welcome to the show, Stock Charts in Focus. Of course, our product focus show here on the channel where we dig into the site, dive into the tools, show you around the features, show you what's new, and ultimately help you get more value out of stock charts. That's our mission here every Friday on the show, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, up on the live channel, but also up on our YouTube channel after that and the on-demand platform at StockChartsTV.com. Just like all of our Stock Charts TV content, you've got lots of ways to watch. I'm your host for the show. My name is Grayson Roze, Vice President of Operations here at StockCharts.com. And if you've joined us over the last couple of weeks, you know that we have been covering all the new things that have just rolled out with our summer product launch, codenamed Bainbridge. Now you can learn more about that Bainbridge product launch at StockCharts.com/new. We've highlighted that a little bit on the show over the last couple of weeks. You can also look for the What's New card on our Charts and Tools page, or if you're logged into your account, you're on the dashboard, look for that Member Tools section on the top left, top corner of the dashboard, and you can scroll all the way to the bottom of that. There's also a link to that What's New page. But StockCharts.com/new is going to take you to the info page about everything that we have launched as part of that Bainbridge product launch. It's been a whole collection of new things, and we've been highlighting those on the show over the last couple of weeks. Things like chart panels, things like the new edit view for your SharpCharts chart lists, a bunch of very cool new features in ACP. We touched on those last week. Automated price alerts displayed right on your charts. Some very, very cool stuff has launched in ACP. And this week, we're back again to talk about some new features that have rolled out in both SharpCharts and ACP. We're talking specifically about these new intraday chart periods that we've added. 5 new intraday chart periods that do something pretty interesting. They split the trading day evenly. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Before we do, I do want to jump over to that What's New page. Just make sure that you know how to see everything that's launched. It's a really, really helpful page we put together to make sure you're totally covered on everything that's happened, because there's a ton that has rolled out. It's going to be a good refresher if you've seen some of that stuff, or if you're brand new, you haven't seen any of the things that just rolled out, we'll make sure you're covered there on the What's New page. So let's jump over to the site. We'll take a quick look at that, and we'll jump over into the charts and hit these intraday chart periods. All right, everyone. So here on our Charts and Tools page, of course, you can get to here by clicking on that Charts and Tools link in the top left corner of the page. On this page down below, as we scroll down, there is a What's New card. When you give that link a click, that takes you over to our What's New page. And as I mentioned, you can also get here by going to StockCharts.com/new. That'll take you right to this page. There's a big old card, though, at the top of this page that describes everything that we've done, sort of the highlights were really, with that Bainbridge product launch. Down below that, there's also one for our spring product launch that was called Alki, codenamed Alki. So you can hit this little kind of description here to get a summary of some of the things that have happened. As I mentioned, we've got chart panels for your dashboard, edit view for SharpCharts, new intraday chart periods, going to cover that one today, performance view for ACP, price alerts right on your ACP charts, even things like earnings dates right in the summary view for your SharpCharts chart lists. If you give this page a click, though, give this button a click down here, we've got descriptions and more details, more info about all of these features. So you can sort of breeze through this, get a summary of everything that has launched with that new product release that just rolled out a couple of weeks ago. Some of the things that we've already covered on Stock Charts in Focus are on here. Some of the things that we're going to cover today are on here as well, like intraday RRG charts. And when you get down to the bottom, there's also a sort of longer list, some of the smaller features that didn't make it up into the top of the page. But there is a ton that has launched around the site, really kind of in every corner of the site with this latest product release. So you can learn more about all of that here on our release notes at that stockcharts.com/what's/new page. So definitely check that out. And as I mentioned, we've been highlighting a bunch of these different tools and features and things that have rolled out over the last couple of weeks on StockCharts in Focus. You can always go back to previous episodes of this show to learn more about some of those things, like chart panels, one that I'm using actually every day. A very, very cool feature here, that chart panels on your dashboard. That was one of the first ones that we highlighted. So now that you know how to learn more about everything that has rolled out on the site, we're actually going to jump over to ACP. We're going to start there, but the intraday chart periods that we're talking about actually work for ACP and for SharpCharts. So ACP is going to be our starting place today, but we'll jump over to SharpCharts really quickly to show you how to access these over there as well. And then we'll hit up RRG and talk about those new intraday RRG charts as well. Let's jump over to ACP now and take a look. So here we are in ACP, of course, our interactive advanced charting platform that rolled out a couple years ago, has been continuing to evolve, something that we've highlighted quite a lot on the show. We talked a lot about it last week as well with some of the new features that rolled out here in ACP. This is going to be our starting place for today's show, but as I mentioned, we'll jump over to SharpCharts as well. Today's show, though, is kind of a funny one to demonstrate because other than kind of talking through the logic behind these chart periods, there's actually not a ton to demo. So we are here on an intraday chart. We are looking at a 15-minute chart, as you can see up top, and we're just looking at 15 days worth of data just to have some nice full candles there. So when we open up this chart period menu, we're going to leave this open for a second. We're just going to kind of talk through the logic of what has been added. As I mentioned, in both ACP and in SharpCharts, we've now added 5 new intraday chart periods. So all of you short-term traders or anyone who's watching the intraday price action, these 5 new chart periods are going to be available to you for anything that trades on sort of standard market hours, opens and closes, like US stocks, US ETFs, those kinds of things. So you can see those in this menu right here, and they're listed a little bit differently. At first, when you see these, you might think, 39 minutes? What the heck is 39 minutes? Well, to explain why we've added some of these, we've also added a little bit of info in parentheses. So the concept here is that all of these new intraday chart periods split the trading day, the standard trading day, evenly. You've got a specific number of hours in the trading day, and we want to split that evenly so that every bar represents an equal number of minutes. So what we've done here with these new trading periods is chart periods is we've taken that trading day, we've split it evenly in 5 different ways. That does spit out some kind of odd numbers when you look at the number of minutes that each bars represent. But as you can see in parentheses, this is how these different chart periods break up the trading days. You get 10 bars per day with our new 39-minute chart period. You get 6 bars per day with our new 65-minute chart period. 5 bars per day with our new 78-minute chart period. 3 bars per day with the 130-minute chart period. And 2 bars per day with the 195-minute chart period. So these are now available to you in both SharpCharts and in ACP. They work the exact same as any other chart period, any other intraday chart period. All you've got to do to set one of these up is give it a click, and there you go. Now look at that. We're looking at a 39-minute chart. We can go back to, maybe a month worth of data. We can see a whole month worth of data. We are adding additional data to all of these chart periods as well. We're going further back in time. That process is continuing right now, so you can expect to actually get even more of this intraday data very, very soon. But as it stands, these chart periods are fully built. They work with any indicators that you can think of. They work exactly the same as any of your other intraday chart periods. If you've been using 15-minute or 30-minute charts, for instance, 39 minutes might be interesting to you. If you've been using those 60-minute chart periods, 65s or 78s might be interesting to you. 2 hours, you might want to bump up to 130 or even 195. If you've been using the 4-hour chart period, you might actually want to bump down to that 195. One of the odd things about 4-hour bars is that they actually don't split the trading day evenly. The same goes for 2-hour bars. The same goes for 60-minute bars. So with these new intraday chart periods that we've added, the trading day gets split perfectly evenly. This is actually an issue that's existed for a long time with 60-minute bars in particular. Hourly candles, hourly bars are something that are very popular, but you end up with this one kind of clinger on at the end that's actually half an hour at the end of the trading day instead of being a full hour. So you sort of end up with this odd candle at the end of the day. We can get around that by simply bumping up to a 65-minute chart instead. That gives us 6 even bars throughout the trading day. So I think even though these numbers are a little bit odd, they're a little bit funny when you first see them, they actually do make a ton of sense technically when you think about splitting that trading day evenly. So there's usually, or for pretty much all of these, there's kind of a close, new chart period that you can move to. Again, if you've been using 30s, you might want to bump up to 39s. If you've been using 60s, you might want to bump up to 65s. You'll see that they are relatively similar, but again, it gets around that kind of uneven split of the day. So very, very exciting to have these in here now with the new intraday chart periods that we've added. Again, they are totally the same as any other chart periods. All you've got to do is give them a click, and you can start charting with any of those time periods. You can add indicators to these. You can see we've got volume on this chart, but if we wanted to add something, for instance, like the accumulation distribution line, we can add that as well. We can add price performance lines to this to chart relative strength with these intraday chart periods. Anything that you can envision with these intraday charts, you can now do it here with these new 39, 65, 78, and so on and so forth, new chart periods there. So that's really all there is to demo here in ACP. And with that out of the way, we're actually going to jump over now to SharpCharts. We're going to take a look at how to add these chart periods to your SharpCharts as well. But then we'll jump over to RRG and talk about the new intraday additions to RRG as well. So let's jump over to SharpCharts now and take a look. So here we are on the SharpCharts workbench. We've pulled up another intraday chart. In this case, we're looking at something a little more complex, bringing in relative strength. We're looking at a 1-minute chart actually over the last 5 days. We've got our accumulation, distribution, and on-balance volume down at the bottom. We've also got volume bars at the bottom of this chart. This is kind of a standard intraday chart that I personally like to use in my account. Down here, though, at the bottom of the workbench, you can see that in that period menu, if we open that up, we've got the same set of new options: 39 minutes, 65 minutes, 78 minutes, 130 minutes, and 195 minutes. So we've got a ton of new options to play with here in this chart period menu in SharpCharts, just like we had in ACP. Again, very, very simple to update to one of these. Just select it from the menu, hit update, and there we go. Now we're looking at a 39-minute chart. Now we're still looking at 5 days worth of data, so we might want to bump this out to be something like maybe 30 days worth of data. There you go. This chart's going to look a little bit better. But all those chart periods exist here in SharpCharts, just like they did in ACP. They are exactly the same. You can use those with any indicators. Again, we're adding additional time to those as well. Going back even further into history, additional data going back further. But they exist right now. You can start to use those. You can flip your 30-minute charts over to 39s or your 60-minute charts over to 65s, just like we talked about with ACP. So very, very cool to have these new intraday chart periods, again, splitting that trading day evenly for stocks, ETFs, anything that trades sort of normal market hours. So with that out of the way, let's jump over to our second half of the show. We're going to take a look at RRG, because we've also added intraday RRG charts over in that corner of the website as well. To do that, we're actually going to jump back over to the charts and tools page, and we will scroll down a little bit to our RRG charts card. Now, if you're not familiar with RRG charts, first and foremost, you gotta follow Julius de Kempenaar. Julius is one of our most popular contributors, hosts a show here on StockCharts TV every week called Sector Spotlight, but also Julius is the creator of RRG charts. He is the visionary behind this very, very cool new technical display that came out not too long ago. We are one of the few places on the web that has RRG charts. We have a very close partnership with Julius, and we love working with him. I love talking to Julius because the way that his brain works, the way that he thinks about the markets, it is just fascinating. So you can follow Julius's work on that Sector Spotlight show on StockCharts TV, also through his written commentary on the site. If you go up to the top of the site, click that Articles tab, you'll see lots of work from Julius under his RRG Charts blog. But RRG charts are a very, very unique visual. What they do is display relative strength in a very unique, changing kind of way. You set your benchmark and then set your group of symbols. As you can see here, we have some major market indexes. We can do different groups though, like for instance, the sector ETFs. This is one of the groups that I like to use RRG charts with. Now we're looking at all of those sector ETFs relative to the S&P 500 itself. And we can see relative strength and momentum changing over time between these 4 different quadrants. Now, the 4 different quadrants are leading, weakening, lagging, and improving. And you can see that over time, these different symbols will actually rotate between these quadrants. You can basically try to catch them as they're rotating between those quadrants. And it's just a very unique way to view relative strength and momentum changing over time. Now, that's a very quick highlight of how RRG charts work. First and foremost, we've got descriptions down here at the bottom. We've also got documentation on how RRG charts work. And most importantly, we have Julius on the site every day writing commentary, doing videos. So definitely follow Julius for more information about RRG charts and to see them in action. Unfortunately, we don't have time to really dive into to RRG charts on today's show. We're just going to highlight one new update to them. But they are very, very cool, and it is an amazing tool, especially when you're thinking about any sort of group of symbols. Again, sectors, this is great for. Major market indexes, this is great for. Even the stocks in your portfolio, this can be really, really great for. Set your benchmark there in the middle and you can see all of the stocks in your portfolio or all of the symbols, any securities that you have in your portfolio. You can see those relative to the benchmark, how their relative strength is kind of evolving and changing over time. So many awesome use cases for RRG charts, and we'll have to do an entire episode of this show on them specifically at some point. But the exciting news is that what we've added now to RRG charts is a new set of intraday RRG periods. For a long time, we've had 2 periods to these charts, 3 periods actually. Monthly RRG charts, weekly RRG charts, and daily RRG charts. The concept is the same. How much data are you looking back over, and what is the kind of period of this rotation through these different quadrants? What we've now added is an even shorter term view for, again, all you short-term traders or anyone watching that intraday price action. We've also added 60-minute RRG charts, 30-minute RRG charts, 15, 10, and 5-minute RRG charts. So you can really drill into that rotation across even more time frames now with these new chart periods that we've just rolled out for RRG. They work the exact same. For instance, if you wanted to view RRG over a 30-minute time period, all you've got to do is select that from the menu, hit update, select your time frame, and select your intraday chart period, hit update, and there you go. You can now get that RRG view using the intraday price action for kind of a narrower view of how relative strength is changing in the short term. So very exciting stuff here in concert with those new chart periods that we've added for SharpCharts and ACP. We've really brought a lot more to the intraday picture here throughout the site. Again, on your standard charts, on your RRG charts, and no matter what charting platform you're using, you've got some new intraday chart periods to play with. So very, very exciting stuff here. So that is our show for today, one that we're not really diving in and demonstrating too much. We're just kind of talking about the new things that have rolled out, but hopefully this has given you a sense of kind of what's there, what's been added, again, in SharpCharts, ACP, even RRG, getting those new intraday chart periods there. Very exciting stuff, though, having these, and very cool to split the trading day evenly with those new SharpCharts and ACP chart periods. I'm personally loving this. I love those 65-minute charts. It's really fixed something that's kind of bugged me about hourly charts for a long time. So having those 65-minute charts has been wonderful. Also the 39s to kind of drill in a little bit more. I'm really enjoying these new intraday chart periods, but we'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Is there anything else that you want? We always love to hear from you, so definitely message our support team if you have any thoughts. But hopefully you enjoy using these new intraday chart periods in whatever chart platform you are using, SharpCharts, ACP, you've got it there in both. So I want to thank you again for joining me on the show today. Again, we do this every Friday, sitting down to talk about new features, new tools, new things that have happened around the site. But on other weeks, we also just kind of cover what's happening, how to get more out of StockCharts, different uses of the chart lists and the SharpCharts and the ACP tools and all the things that are around StockCharts. We really just kind of cover every corner of the site, highlighting tools and features, and ultimately, as I like to say, trying to help you get more value out of StockCharts. So if you had fun with me today and this is your first time joining us, remember we do this show every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the StockCharts live channel, but also up on our YouTube channel after that and the on-demand platform at StockChartsTV.com. Final note, ChartCon is coming up. If you're a longtime StockCharts user, you probably know what that means, but a very exciting 2-day conference. We're going to have an incredible lineup of technicians coming to talk to you about the markets, talk to you about their process, investing, trading, charting, you name it, it's going to be covered at ChartCon. We've got big blue banners up at the top of the screen. You can click that for some more info, but members, StockCharts members, get a very special discounted price. So definitely sign up for a free trial, or if you're a member, take advantage of that free price. Click that blue banner up at the top of the site, or go to StockCharts.com/ChartCon to learn more. We're going to have tons more info as we get closer. That's coming in just a couple of months in October. So very, very exciting stuff. We're just getting that rolling. But ChartCon is going to be an absolute just fantastic event this fall. Very, very exciting. Again, we'll have more details for you as we get a little closer to that. But StockCharts.com/ChartCon. Learn more, see the details, and sign up. Save your seat for this very exciting event coming this fall. That is our show for today. Again, my name is Grayson Roze, Vice President of Operations here at StockCharts.com. It's been so good to be with you. I'll see you next week for another edition of the show. But until then, chart on, my friends.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.